Okay, let's be real. Every single week in AI feels like a whole year, right? The headlines are just a blur of new models, new deals, new controversies. So in this explainer, we're going to hit the pause button on all that chaos and find the 4 key signals from this week's news that show you exactly where all of this is actually heading.
I mean, it is so easy to get lost in all that noise. But when you actually look closely at what happened this week, you start to see these really clear patterns emerging. These aren't just, random product updates. Nope. They're basically the blueprints for how AI is going to reshape how we work and, well, how we live. So we're going to break them down one by one. All right, let's jump in.
First up, AI is graduating. For a long time, we've had these generalist AIs that could do a little bit of everything, kind of a jack of all trades. But that era is ending. We're now seeing a whole new class of highly trained specialists built from the ground up to absolutely master one complex job.
And what's so cool here is you can see this trend playing out in completely different worlds. Take OpenAI's GPT-5.2. This thing isn't for writing your marketing emails. No way. It's a total powerhouse that's been fine-tuned on scientific papers to tackle graduate-level math problems. Then you've got Mistral's Devstral 2. It literally thinks in code, designed to be the ultimate sidekick for a software developer. And Rivian? They know a generic AI is going to get stuck in the mud, literally. So they built a custom brain for their trucks that's an expert at navigating the pure chaos of off-road driving.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. For AI to go from being a fun novelty to a tool you actually bet your job on, it can't just be clever. It has to be trustworthy. It has to be reliable. And this whole shift towards specialization, well, that's what turns a clever toy into an indispensable instrument for a scientist, a coder, or an engineer.
Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our second big trend. Because once AI gets really good at one specific thing, it doesn't need to be the main event anymore. Instead, it just starts to disappear. It starts embedding itself right into the apps and tools you're already using every day.
Just think about a task like editing a PDF. We've all been there. It used to be this horrible, clunky process, right? You'd have to export the file, go hunt down that one expensive program you have just for PDFs, make the changes, resave it, re-upload it. The whole workflow was just full of friction.
And boom, this is the new reality. With Adobe's tools now baked right into ChatGPT, all that friction just vanishes. You don't have to go anywhere. You stay right where you are, upload the file, and just tell it what to do. Combine these 2 reports and add my signature to the last page. See? The AI isn't the place you go to anymore. It's the engine that makes where you are way smarter.
And this pattern is unfolding absolutely everywhere. For your job, developers can now debug code with Anthropic's Claude without ever leaving Slack. For your personal life, you can plan a week's meals in ChatGPT and then tell it to order the ingredients from Instacart. And for big business, firms like Accenture are now focused on weaving these powerful models directly into the core plumbing of major corporations. The AI is just there.
All right, our third trend. This one's a biggie. This week, we saw AI make a huge jump. It's leaping out of our spreadsheets and our Slack channels and landing smack in the middle of mainstream culture and entertainment.
I mean, this is a truly landmark moment. Think about it. Disney. They are famously almost legendary for how protective they are of their characters. So for them to team up with OpenAI, wow, that's a massive signal. It's the ultimate validation, basically saying, yup, AI-generated video is a legitimate creative medium. This just opened a whole new chapter for storytellers everywhere. But of course, this leap into the mainstream is kicking up a huge debate. Take the recent McDonald's holiday ad, created entirely with AI. On one hand, the benefits are just insane. A project that would have taken months and a massive crew was finished in a matter of days for a fraction of the cost. But on the other hand, a lot of people watched it and felt a little weird. They called it uncanny or, a bit soulless, questioning if it really had that human touch.
And that right there frames the central tension perfectly. Is AI just the next tool in the artist's belt, like the synthesizer was for music? Or is it something totally different? Something that challenges our very idea of what makes art feel authentic to us?
Okay, for our fourth and final trend, let's pull the camera way back. Because to really get the AI story this week, you have to look at the new global map that's forming. This isn't just about cool tech anymore. This is about a worldwide competition between different nations, different companies, and two very different ideas about the future.
So you can see right here, the AI race is not a one-country show anymore, not by a long shot. Yeah, the US giants, your OpenAIs, Googles, and Anthropics, they're still the heavyweights. But this week really put a spotlight on powerful contenders from Europe, like France's Mistral AI, and from China, with major players like Alibaba and Zhipu AI really pushing the frontier.
But here's where it gets really fascinating. It's the philosophical battle lines that are being drawn. On one side, you have the closed proprietary approach of companies like OpenAI, where the technology is a tightly guarded secret. On the other, you've got this booming open source movement, championed by companies like Europe's Mistral and China's Zhipu AI, who just released a powerful new model for anyone to download and build on. So this is more than just a business strategy, right? It's a fundamental debate over who gets to control this technology.
So there you have it. That's the signal and noise of AI this week. 1, AI is getting sharper, focusing on expert skills. 2, it's becoming invisible, weaving itself into our daily apps. 3, it's gone mainstream, officially entering our culture. And 4, it's all happening on a global stage, defined by that critical battle between open and closed technology.
When you put all 4 of those trends together, they all point in one direction. AI is becoming a new, foundational layer of our daily lives. So the question is no longer if we'll use it, but how we'll use it. And as this technology gets woven into everything we do, maybe the most important question we can ask ourselves is this: what problems do we truly want it to solve?